Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Tittle Tattle Tarot. It's Georgie, and I'm using the Light Seers Tarot today. And I had a lovely suggestion from one of my great subscribers. Thank you so much. You know who you are. This suggestion was regarding Amelie and Sean McCann. So Maddie's twin brother and sister. Now, Madeline went missing 2007. The twins at the time were 2 and Madeline was 3. So we're going back a long time. The twins have turned 18 now. And as I understand it, there was some sort of legal order that photographs couldn't be taken of the twins until they actually, reached an adult age, and then they could decide whether, their photographs would be released and, whether they would be in the press. But all the time that they were growing up, I think there are a few photographs of them just slightly after the disappearance of their sister. But then between then and them reaching 18, there haven't been any. So very good decision that. Keep them out of the press, keep them away from all those prying eyes. So Amelie and Sean. And I just want to look at their lives, and I am not touching the disappearance. I do not want to go down that particular cul-de-sac today. So nothing to do with the actual disappearance of Maddie, and nothing to do with Kate and Jerry McCann. I don't want to go down that avenue either. This is purely about Madeline's brother and sister. As I say, they were 2 years old at the time that this happened. And I want to get their energy. There was a night vigil. I think they've had them every year, sort of a remembrance of Madeline every year. And this was the 16th anniversary of her disappearance. Just recently gone, early May. The 16th anniversary of it, and the twins were then 18. So Amelie was there, but Sean wasn't. So I just want to get some general energy about these two siblings and where they are at the moment. So let's see what my cards will bring me. So let's just get an overall card, first of all, the overall energy. 7 of Pentacles. Very much a working card. These are twins that are at their senior year in college or school or high school or however you want to call it. 18 years old, probably A levels. Do we have A levels anymore? I don't know what we've got. In my day, it was A levels. I don't know what it is now. Everything's changed. But anyway, they've just done all that. They're probably leaving school at the end of this next term, I would imagine. So they've stayed on, they've got their higher education at school, working. And I think this has been the overall theme for these two twins. Whatever it is, being busy, having projects and keeping their minds busy, both of them. And I'm not touching on Jerry and Kate McCann. I don't want their energy on this. This is all to do with these twins. And I just think whatever they've done, they've thrown themselves into it, whether it be schoolwork, whether it be, any sporting things, whatever it be, that they've thrown themselves into it, and they've grown these little seeds of projects that they've had and really nurtured them. And they're focused. Look how focused this person is on this blooming idea, this blooming project. So I think that it's been, let's work, let's keep our minds busy. So I think that's the overall energy of these two young adults now, keeping themselves busy all their lives. So I would just like one card for Amelie. And then I would like one card for Sean. Okay, for Amelie, I have the 5 of Wands. This is a fighting card, but I don't think, to be honest with you, it's not that sort of, in this context, it's not that confrontational fighting. It's not being aggressive. This is just determined not to let her sister's memory go, determined to fight for her sister's memory. And this is very much a passion card, the passionate fight to keep Madeline's name out there, the passionate fight to let people know that Madeline was a person and did exist. Maybe she still does exist somewhere. And you know, this to me is the fight of that. And these are probably close friends around her, a close small group, like the people that do the vigil that are around her. And this is her fighting energy, not in an aggressive way, but fighting to keep her sister's memory alive. And I think it's very strong in Amelie. And then we have Sean's energy, Ace of Wands. And yes, of course, his sister's memory is very important to him. But I think that he is a little bit more, let's get on, a little bit more, his energy is a little bit more, let's focus on the future rather than dwelling on the past. That's just the feeling that I get from this. He wasn't at the vigil, and all I think of that is he deeply loved his sister and he deeply cares for her. He has this, you know, want to keep her memory alive and everything. But I think for him, it's more about moving forward, keeping his thoughts and his feelings and his emotions more inside. But the Ace of Wands, moving on with his life. If this was the Rider-Waite Ace of Wands, you'd see the wand with the hand breaking through the cloud. And the cloud is like the stuff that's happened in the past, the sort of bad skies, the dark skies, things from the past. And then the wand breaks through, being held in this hand. Let's move forward. So I'm not saying he doesn't care about his sister and doesn't remember her or anything like that, but I'm saying I think of the two of them, Amelie is the one who will be doing the vigils every year and fighting for this, whereas Sean will be more in his head and more, you know, celebrating her in his head, but needing to, you know, move on. So that's the way I see their energy. I want to know what it was like growing up for them. Growing up, you know, as very young children. What was it all like growing up for these twins with everything that happened? Let's pick Amelie first of all. And let's have Sean. Again, these are very, very different children, although, or young adults, although they're twins, they have a very different approach to things. Amelie, I think that she was very close to her mother, Queen of Pentacles. This is very grounded. I think she was a very grounded child and very, very earthy. Like to create things, like to garden, like to do all that kind of things, be involved on her hands and knees, playing. And the mother was very, very important. This was a mummy's girl, I would say. That's my impression of Amelie. And Sean, 10 of Cups in reverse. I think, yeah, I think maybe with the 10 of Cups in reverse, he was a little bit more unstable at home, a little bit more unpredictable. The emotions were more apparent with him. I think Amelie was more stable, and this was a more emotional little boy. That is my feeling. I could be totally wrong on this. There's nothing written that makes me read that and think that. This is just the feelings from the cards. You've got the mother and the father and the two children here. It's in reverse, you know, and this is your very, very happy home, sort of Instagram happy, taking the photos, you know, look how happy we are. We're mother and father with the two twins here. We're very happy. That's Instagram, but it wasn't like that. And I think maybe this is saying that Sean picked up more on the stress than Amelie. I think Amelie, she was very much a mummy's girl and very much playing and creating, and a little bit more I don't mean stable, but more in her own mind, and could be more grounded, perhaps. He was very intuitive and very emotional, and I think that the whole situation with the McCanns and the situation with losing Maddie, I think that this little boy is more sensitive, and he picked up on that energy more. And yeah, that's the way I'm reading this. So how did they do when, people knew who they were, in the local area? I think they were sort of Leicestershire, wasn't it? Leicestershire area. So, I mean, people would know the story and they would know who they were, local people. And I want to know what it was like having people, stop you maybe and say things, or point you out, and what that was like as a child. Say a child about 10 or 11, something like that, having people say, oh, oh, you must be Madeline McCann's sister and brother, and being made to face this by people's inquiries, by people's just general curiosity. What was that like? What was it like for Amelie? And what was it like for Sean? Yeah, these are both cards of wanting to be somewhere else. So for Amelie, the Eight of Cups, this is oh, I really, I wish people wouldn't do that. I want to walk away from that. When someone starts asking me about my sister and about her, I don't want to really engage in that. I want to walk away to somewhere better. I want to be somewhere else. I don't want to be talking about this at, say, 9, 10, 11, that kind of age. Let me be somewhere else. I don't want this kind of, it will feel like an interrogation, and not wanting that. Let's walk away from that emotion and, go and be busy. Let's go and be busy somewhere. You busy card, and this is one that I said overrides everything. Let me go off and do a busy thing, and I don't want to talk about this. And I very much think that Sean was very similar. The Three of Wands, this is something coming towards you and looking out, and it's almost as though you're waiting for something to come towards you to rescue you in a way. It's like, oh, I'm looking out for the next thing to do, the next project to come to me, something I can, train for or work for, because I don't want to deal with what's on this shore here. What's behind me. Behind me are people saying, oh, you must be Sean. Oh, yes, Sean, you're Madeline's brother. Oh, yes. Oh, good grief. And he doesn't want that. So he's turned his back on that, and he's waiting for something to come towards him, some passionate project that he can be busy on. So, yeah, I think that it was very hard for them both when they had people confronting them and saying, oh, it's you, sort of thing. I think the finest thing was having this press block on them, having this press block. So let's just get one card for just having a block so that the press couldn't. Yeah, look, there we are. There's the Two of Cups. That's the brother and sister. This allowed them to, be who they were, to grow up without the press looking at them. Brother and sister, hand in hand. I don't know how well they get on, brothers and sisters, especially twins. Do they get on that well? Who knows? But, you're linked by a tragedy, aren't you? And they were very much linked, this boy and girl, by this tragedy, and they still are, and they always will be. And I think that the press block was absolutely fantastic because it gave them time to be who they were without the prying lenses of cameras looking at them. So fabulous. And now we're at a stage where they're 18. So Amelie has come out, and she's been at this vigil, and she's spoken to the press. So that was her choice. And she came out and she spoke about her sister. And here we are, Queen of Swords. Now, what about Sean? He wasn't there. He chose not to be there and not to speak to the press. Magician. Yeah. Again, very different personalities, these. The Queen of Swords. Amelie spoke her mind. She sort of said, swords of words, spoke her mind. I'm so sad about this. This is another 16th year vigil, and we'll never forget all this sort of fighting energy from up here. Keep fighting, keep her name out there, say prayers, get her out there. And very much a young woman of her truth and speaking the truth, and very, very honest, very level-headed, and that's the way that she chose to deal with it. And then on this side, it is different. Sean, he chose not to be there. And I see this again as the magician. This is much more in your head, much more dealing with things, that sort of energy that is not as scrutable, a little bit inscrutable. What is this boy thinking? And I think he is the much deeper character. This is a lovely girl. She's got lovely energy, but this one is a harder nut to crack. I think he holds his cards very close to his chest, and I think when everything was happening when they were children, he picked up on the emotions of the mother and father much, much more than Amelie did. And I think his way of dealing with it is the magician, is holding it in, keeping what he feels inside, looking down. Can you see that with the hoodie up, looking down? And there she is looking up. She's looking the press in the eye, looking the cameras in the eye. He's chosen to keep his head down with his hoodie over. And I think they're very good cards. So there we go. I would like to just pull a card for each of them for the future. So just the way that their lives head. The tarot is very immediate energy, and I think this is why this reading's so powerful, because it's picking up energy that is now. So I'm going to go a little bit into the future now, and energy is a little bit harder now, but we'll just see what card can I have for Amelie for her future, her near future. Amelie's near future. And for Sean's near future. For Sean's near future. The Emperor. I think that she will marry quite early. I think that there will be a marriage to a very stable man. And, it will be reasonably quickly. She'll be in her early 20s, I would have thought. And she will make her own family. And I think that's probably very important to her stability. So she'll get her education over with, and it wouldn't surprise me if very soon after her education had completed that she found her emperor, and her emperor would be somebody who is a rock of a person. She would need somebody who was this sort of very stable energy, like this Queen of Pentacles here. Very earthy girl. She needs people to be grounded, and she needs security, and she will go for probably an older man who is very wise and very, very grounded. So yes, I see her getting married, quite an early marriage, early 20s, I would have thought. So this is what the cards are telling me. And then I see with Sean, the Hanged Man. This is a man who will take a while to find his career, his path. The Hanged Man, he needs to stand back and look at all his options. He probably won't start coming into his own until he's in his 30s. He's going to have a time when he's finished his education and he doesn't really know what to do. And I think that he may go from one position to another, one career to another. He's not going to settle as well. He's going to be in the Hanged Man, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just looking at life from different perspectives. Do I want that? Standing back, what do I want? Can't decide what I want, Let me look at it from this way. What about if I do that? So he's going to be weighing up things and trying to look at things from different angles about what he really wants in life. And he will be the one who marries much later and comes to his calling in life much later. So that's as far as I'm going with that. I think the cards were very good with this. I love the energy that they brought forward. Twins, but how very different. How very different. Let me know what you think. As I say, there's nothing out there on this young man and young woman, really. There's nothing. So it was good because I'm not influenced by anything. I can just look at the cards and relate what I feel the cards are saying. Let me know what you feel about all of this. And very much big thank you to the lady who suggested I do that. Thank you very much. It was a great suggestion and I totally enjoyed doing it. You take care and we'll speak again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.